All right, ready to go on?
Ready?
Okay.
Illinois isn't considered the sunshine state. Despite some of our cloudy days, the creation of solar renewable energy is more fruitful and possible than ever. There are dedicated people throughout the state working to bring solar projects to communities and rooftops, and that includes our guest today. As the Illinois Solar for All program manager at Sunrun, Bejeray Morrison is helping low-income and environmental justice communities access the environmental and financial benefits of solar energy. PRN's Robert Hirschfeld sits down to talk with her about her work, what shaped her path, and what the new solar opportunities in Illinois mean for low-income and environmental justice communities.
I am here today with Bejeray Morrison, Solar for All Program Manager. Bejeray, thank you for coming on our podcast.
Thank you for having me, Robert. I really appreciate your time
We
and the
appreciate.
opportunity. Yes.
Thank you. We appreciate your time. Okay, Solar for All Program Manager. You work in Illinois' burgeoning solar industry. Can you explain what it is that you're doing?
So right now, I am helping households go solar. We really focus on environmental justice communities and also low-income households who would not normally be able to access solar.
And what is it that you provide that allows low-income people to access solar in ways that they wouldn't be able to otherwise?
So it's really amazing. It allows them to reduce their energy costs and burden, especially now that energy costs are soaring. It's a phenomenal opportunity to, save money and also help the environment.
In your opinion, why should people go solar?
Besides the money saving opportunity, like my passion is to help improve our climate and our environment. So like when I sit down with someone, that's kind of like where my focus goes. But what incentivizes people is the fact that they will no longer have a burden to pay, an energy bill uh, monthly. Like they still have to pay something, but a lot of my participants go from paying $250 a month to like $15.
Yeah, that's really remarkable savings, actually. Are people surprised when you tell them that this is possible?
Yeah, the thing about it is it's so remarkable and so unbelievable that most people are like, this is not real, it's a scam. I've done a lot of work with building trust within the community, and I really rely on our participants who have successfully gone solar and gone through the application process with me. And that's where a lot of our referrals come from. I have a couple participants who have like signed up their whole entire family, like 10 people under him. And I really appreciate those participants who are trusting and take a risk, right? Because they are the first, like they're pioneers and revolutionary to me. Just like you said, this is a burgeoning industry. Not a lot of people are aware of it. Not a lot of people are aware of what solar is and what it can do. And once they take it on and they see the benefits, like they sing the praises to their neighbors, to their church members, to their friends and family. And it's really remarkable that the trajectory, like it's a Fibonacci snowball effect, right? As soon as they get their power turned on and they can see their first ComEd bill, and especially in the summertime, like when the sun is up and their energy usage is up and they have their AC running and they have their lights on and they have grandkids using their phones and everything and their bills are huge. With the solar, they pay almost half or 75% off, which is remarkable. And that's how we get the word out. I was invited to go to a women in trades workshop at, I want to say, the electrical union in Bronzeville. they had a workshop that had a lot of different women in trades that were successful in construction and plumbing and everything. And they were talking to me about different pathways to get involved. One of the tables that was set up was Chicago Urban League's training program for photovoltaics. And the teacher suggested that I disregard my students and take the position myself. And so I was really excited and interested because it was more education for me and I love learning, and there was a stipend involved. So I was able to learn a new trade and also get a stipend, and it was really remarkable, you know. I had to take advantage of it. You know, I'm a learner at heart, and it was an opportunity for me to make a career shift that also empowered Black and Brown people and improve the environment. Like, I am an environmentalist at heart, and that's how I started. I was looking for opportunities for my college students and high school graduates, and the door just opened wide open for me.
Your work was about empowering people, and you said that what you're doing now with the solar empowers Black and Brown people. How is that? Can you talk a little bit about what you mean by that and how that comes about?
Yeah, so CEJA, Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, or CEJA and FEJA, they name it specifically. Like, that is one of the things that makes me super proud and excited about this program in Illinois, is that they name the thing, right? They're not afraid to say it. It's Black, Indigenous people of color. Like, that is why this bill is here, to make sure that we are not left out of this industry. And so that, to me, is one of the reasons that attracted me to it. It just sets an example to the rest of the nation that you can do this equitably, and making sure everyone gets a piece of the pie.
Can you describe what it is that CEJA is doing for the solar industry?
It's providing a way to fund, solar is not a cheap piece of equipment. It's very expensive. And without CEJA, only people who have $10,000 just hanging around would be able to access it. And so with CEJA, not only are people able to learn how photovoltaics works, how solar works, they can create businesses and jobs that allow, everyone to access it. It literally is, one of the pieces is solar for all. And it's solar for all, not only for residents and households, but for individuals that are looking for, opportunities for work, for labor, and not just like minimum wage jobs, but like, it provides an opportunity for individuals to work and provide sustainable means to take care of themselves and their family.
So it sounds like, even from your experience, your personal experience, it's really important that there are training programs and incubators to get people into this new industry. Can you talk a little bit about what's available in your experience with that?
Yes, that's probably one of my favorite pieces to Solar for All, and the training piece, right? Because without the knowledge, without the skills, without the certifications, I'm NABCET certified, which means I can go anywhere and install a solar system. Most employers in the solar industry look for that certification, and I was able to get that in about 10 weeks in the solar program that I did at Chicago Urban League. We had great instructors. We took courses every day. They trained us as if we were on a construction site. And so for me, coming from a world of education, like, I'm looking at the tool like a hammer, and that's all that I can recognize. Like, right? Like, I was starting at zero. And by the end of the training program, I can brag right now and say I was one of the top graduates. We spent most of our time building a small off-grid system, and that itself was empowering. Like, if there's any time where the world shuts down, I know how to energize my home and make sure that everything is still, running smoothly.
How important is the training element in getting people from, point A to point B, maybe having very little knowledge of working in solar, to getting to the point where they are, they have these kind of long-term sustainable jobs that you're talking about?
During training, as intense as it was, it's accessible to everyone, right? We were able to train people like me who had absolutely no knowledge of construction sites, tools, math. Not that I don't know math, but I don't know how to break down an electrical system and decide like what the AC DC values are for solar voltaics and for electricity, right? Who knows how electricity works? At the end of that class or that training, I was able to put together a system from scratch, and that is empowering in itself. But being able to do that in 10 weeks, not 4 years, is one of the things that's the most important thing, because you can start at zero in 10 weeks, have a whole body of knowledge in your brain that most people don't have unless they are hands-on experience in the field. You can get that from one of these training organizations like immediately, and then go from minimum wage to making $100,000 a year.
What would you say gives you the greatest sense of accomplishment in this work?
Obviously, the benefit is not just saving money, but it is improving the environment. So you've taken this tool, right, and empowered yourself with it, and now you get to reap the benefits. There is no better feeling in the world than having somebody be excited about not spending money. I want to say that I'm really proud of the state of Illinois for being a leader in this industry and setting an example for the rest of the nation.
Is there anywhere you'd like to direct listeners to the podcast to get more information?
Yeah, definitely go to illinoissfa.com. You can find the most up-to-date training information and the breakdown of how you can get solar for your home. We have, that's the program administrator's website.
Bejeray, I want to thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate you coming on the podcast and talking about the amazing work that you're doing, and best of luck getting solar on as many roofs as possible.
Thanks, Robert. I really enjoyed my time today.
A huge thank you to Bejeray for the work she does and talking with us today. Her care for people and the environment is making Illinois a better place, where there is equity in energy and solar for all.